I thought that I would do a little bit of a video here, kind of going over some of the settings of the app and getting things in general set up. I've already downloaded and installed the app, and I've messed with this once, but I've kind of wiped everything and I'm starting from fresh except for some minor changes. In order to connect to your device, you actually have to turn on your Wi-Fi mode. And it's not something like it doesn't stay on all the time, which I guess can be a perk. It's also potentially a security thing, just rolling around with your dash camera broadcasting its Wi-Fi, and people may be trying to access it. If you happen to leave the default password in there, I can understand that being an issue. Also, for me, I sometimes access my camera from inside the house because I park close enough, or I have a router that connects to it for me and I can pull data files off of it. That's what I did with my old camera. I haven't tried it with this one, but I'll figure it out. So the first thing is you turn on your Wi-Fi, and then you do all your searching for it. It'll say what it is, and it has its unique number there. Connect into it, and the default password is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Hard stuff, definitely hard. So I'm gonna do a couple things there. Connect in. All right, and it's going to check the quality of my internet connection. Not a big to do. I don't expect there to be internet, so you're going to probably get this, and this is a typical feature with cellular phones. You're all wireless or you're all mobile network. You can do both, and this is one of the things that this app does for you. If you noticed in the installation, it asks about an Open VPN. That Open VPN is the workaround. It doesn't actually allow anybody to VPN into your camera per se. It's specifically so that you could use the internet as well as access the camera at the same time. So when you're opening it up, it tells you this thing, permissions and all of that. But open it up, you'll get a little key thing up in there in the top corner, top of your screen with all your other notifications, and now you'll be able to see what's going on. All my stuff is upside down because I didn't change my settings, but that's what the VPN is for. I saw some things online. People were questioning about the VPN. I kind of questioned it, but it's a way to do a split. It's actually a split VPN. Allows you to connect to your wireless device, and it allows you to connect to the outside world. Well, I want to get rid of that. Just to the outside world and all that good stuff. So, going back to the app. The thing about the app, one of the things is you can't make any changes or view any files through the app while it is recording. It's kind of a goofy little thing. I kind of wish that was something that you can turn on and off, but it isn't at this moment in time. So turn off the recording, and then the left one is all your video files. Well, the little shows it. Then you get a one video file per camera. And depending on how long you set your files up for, 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, determines the size of that file. And the other side is your settings. Now, I made a couple adjustments before because when you're not recording, this thing beeps nonstop, and I think that's just to be like, hey, you're not recording. You might want to take a look at that. The time lapse, it's specifically for, we'll just kind of go through some of the settings. Obviously you can adjust your settings. I'm on full HD on everything that way because I don't have any reason to reduce it down. Time lapse, when your vehicle is in parking mode, it takes it changes the frames per second to 1 through 10, and it just kind of little snapshot. Instead of doing the full 60 or I think 29 frames per second or anything along those lines, it does that. Loop recording, automatically it goes 1, 2, 3, 5, and 10. It seems to be the thing there. I'm going to leave it at 3. If your videos are bigger, it makes it harder to transfer your files. If they're smaller, then you got a lot of cuts and you have to download more files. It's kind of a preference. It depends on how often you're going to be actually accessing your files and using it, which comes back to the thing about the whole, in order to access your videos, you have to stop recording. And to me, that's kind of a thing, because if you're in a situation where you want to keep recording, but you also want to start pulling some files, like maybe an accident has occurred or some craziness, it could be a problematic, but it is what it is. Record audio. Obviously, your camera has audio built into it. You have a microphone that you can attach to it. Your exposures. Your WDR, that's a wide, I forgot what the actual thing is, but essentially a wide dynamic range. It autofocuses because you're going to have like not focused per se, like exposure of lighting. G sensor, that's impacts. It'll notice impacts, date, stamp. I'm going to turn that off. Bit rate, your normal bit rate. How it records your Wi-Fi channels. 2.4, something to keep in mind. If you're broadcasting on 2.4 and you want to pull a file off your dash camera, it's going to be a lot slower than if you change it to 5 gigahertz. And because you're gonna if you look in here, 65 megabytes, and that's on the 2.4 gigahertz range. So going in here, change that bad boy to 5 gigahertz. It'll automatically disconnect, reboot itself, and then obviously you're gonna back this boat up. You got the 5 gigahertz now. You're gonna connect into it, same password. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the default. Another 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom. Connect in. Back to the app. Keep the Wi-Fi connection. It's always going to ask you that question. But while we're here, 433 megabytes per second. There's obviously a huge difference, and that's why 5 gigahertz and everything gets better over time. So connect back into the camera. I'm not recording still. I'm going to hit the record or the settings button. Something that's kind of a little quirky thing. You could time synchronize with your phone. It time synchronizes with your GPS as well, so not a big to do. Boot delay. I don't have a delay set on it. What does it do? 510. Pretty much, I think it boots up and then it starts recording. It doesn't record immediately. Infrared light. That is for your internal camera. It shoots out light whenever it gets dark. It's on, off, or an auto. If you see how it is right now, it is stuck in the black and white infrared. That setting, because it's always infrared, is there. So to have that set up to turn it off, back it up. This is what it looks like with it off, but that's because it's not shooting infrared light. I personally like to set it up to auto. That way I don't have to think about this. And then when nighttime comes, it goes to that black and white type view, and you can see what's going on. Don't need to you get all your rotates. My rear image needs to rotate, and my rear interior camera needs to rotate because I did that. I don't need to flip anything. Notification sounds, that's where everything gets a little interesting. It beeps like crazy when you're not recording. Like right now, if I didn't have that set up, it would be beeping in the background. GPS, like you could turn it on and off, kilometers, miles per hour, whatever your standard is. GPS stamp on, camera model stamp, you can have that stamp on there. Frequency, I live in the United States, and I presume that it's supposed to be 60 hertz. I'm going to stick with 60 hertz because I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Format your SD card, reset your camera settings, change your Wi-Fi, SSID, you know, all the usual stuff here. Let's see here. Oh, I don't know how to type. There we go. That obviously is going to reset the camera. I didn't realize that, but that's good to know, I suppose. I'm kind of chilling in my truck, so it'll be okay. Is it up? It makes the little beepity doo-dah noises. Nope, it doesn't, because I have it set for button presses only. Every time it resets, you have to press the Wi-Fi button, which is kind of annoying. I kind of wish that I could just set it up, forget about it, and then walk away. There we go. When it reboots, it automatically goes back to recording. That is a bonus. I won't complain about that because things happen. All right. Go back to the settings here. SSID, the Wi-Fi password. You can see it in plain text, which seeing it in plain text here, kind of, when you go in there to change the password, you type in that password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It hides the characters there, but it doesn't hide it there. So I think that's just kind of maybe a glitch in the app that might want to change that if that's something that needs to be secretive, but okay, their thing. I might suggest that. Custom text, you can put some words on the screen. My goodness. Don't rely on me to do typing for you. All right. You can put your license plate number in there. That's kind of interesting. I guess if you have like a fleet of these and you have a bunch of cameras and you want to know which is what, you could probably have that imprinted on there. Not a big to do. And overall, that's pretty much all the settings you got for it. You got the thing to scroll through the camera views. You got the forward view. What you see right there is a little bit of the base of the other camera. I had to reposition it just a smidgen. And then the rear view camera gets a wide angle from back window to back window. You get some of these angles back here. That's very nice. I like that. And then this would be a different view for SUVs versus trucks. You get to see the bed of my pickup truck, but it got a pretty good wide angle. My cover there is 3 sections long, with a small little sliver section for mounting, and you can see pretty close to the cab of the vehicle, but it's got a pretty good wide angular lens. And let's see here. You got all 3 of them. It's telling me that it's recording a microphone inside the vehicle, and then it's not set up for motion detection. So parking mode, I think, what that is for. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to turn it on to record because I don't want to turn it off and forget about it. And that's the overall app. Yeah. Well, thank you for watching.